Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to a new video in my channel. It's a new series that I wanted to start, which is basically that I will be sharing with you guys my performance throughout every month, basically doing a monthly recap of every single month. So I'm basically starting with the month of April and the month of May, based on the fact that those 2 months I was able to grab a lot of data of my performance. To be honest with you, at the beginning of the year, so January, February, and March, I was a little bit disorganized, so I didn't journal my trades properly, so that's why I don't have like accurate data. But since I first started to create content, I started to be way more organized, and that's why I have data, like proper data since April. So I'm basically gonna share with you guys every single month my performance, sharing with you guys two things. So first, data analytics about my monthly performance. So showing you guys a lot of statistics and a lot of data based on how I did throughout the month, as well as sharing with you guys some trades or some analysis in my trading journal directly. So I wanted to start first with the month of April. So if we can see the month of April, I finished the month with a negative minus 0.15. So it was basically a month where I placed 7 trades in total and I had a 50% win rate. My average RR was 0.95, which basically means that most of my trades, or no most of my trades, but the average of the trades I took at the end was 0.95. So basically 1 to 0.95, which is actually very low compared to my usual aim, because I usually aim for 1 to 2. So it's kind of low. So this helps me to understand that maybe I did some mistakes or I target wrong. And my biggest win streak was 2 trades, and my biggest losing streak was kind of big, so it was 3. So ideally, what we can see here is the trades I took. So I took a trade on April 2nd, 3rd, 9th, 15th, 19th, 22, and 26th. And here we can see the results basically. So we started with the trade of 2%. And the last trade was 0.55. We can see the 3 trades. So here is basically the biggest losing streak, which was 3. So we can see here that on April 3rd, 9th, and 15th, I took a losing streak of 3 trades in a row. And well, yeah, basically this was the 2 winning streaks. Considering that break even, it's not a losing trade or a winning trade. So it's like if you don't count it. So yeah, basically here, this is the graph of the monthly return, where you guys can see basically the percentages I took, as well as my winning and losing streak, which is basically here. So the average winning streak, which is the big portion of this pie graph, which is basically 3, and winning, which is 2. And also in trade results, we have that the 14.3% of my trades were break even, and 42.9% was win, and 42.9% was loss. Basically, as you guys can see here, we have also the performance by day. This is honestly very important to have, because maybe in a month you can't analyze properly, but if you do a yearly analysis, at the end you can start understanding maybe what day your strategy or your edge doesn't perform very well. So as we can see, basically on Monday and on Wednesday, we had the worst days, and we have our best day on Tuesday. And this is basically the graph here. Now we can go to the month of May. So this was basically the result for the month of May. So we finished the week in 5.4% profit. It's very crucial also to mention that I risk 1% per trade. So basically this whole analysis is based on my way of trading, my risk management strategy, that I basically risk 1% in every single trade, and I usually aim for a minimum of 1 to 2, right? That's important to mention. So it was basically the end of the month. So the result for the month was 5.4% profit with 9 trades placed, with a win rate of 57%. It's also important to mention that the win rate doesn't include the break-evens. Usually my break-evens, I win, but I win a very small percentage, because if I move my stop loss to break-even, so let's say this is my stop loss, right? I've moved my break-even a little bit above my entry point, which basically means that I get stopped out with a small profit, but on my opinion, and to be honest with myself, I don't consider that a win. So that's why I don't put it in a win rate. So the average RR was 1.95. As we can see, this is way better. So if, for example, if we go to the month of April, we can see that this one was 0.95, which is pretty low. It's basically like if I used to target 1-to-1, right? But if we go to May, we can see that the average RR increased substantially, and it was kind of a 1-to-2, which is what I usually aim, and that basically demonstrates one of the main reasons why my profit was higher, right? My biggest win streak was 2, so I won 2 trades in a row as max, and my biggest losing streak was 2, which means that I lost 2 trades in a row max. This was my trade, so on May 2nd, 6th, 10th, 13th, well, basically for a total of 9 trades throughout the month. With that, basically it's an average of 2 trades per week, a little bit more than 2 trades per week, which is honestly a very good amount in my opinion, and based on my strategy. We have the amount of wins, so 4, the amount of losses, so 3, and the amount of break-evens, 2. As we can see, we can also identify and understand the performance by day throughout the month of May. So we have that the best performance we had was on Monday, and the worst performance was on Friday. If we go back to April, we can identify differences, right? So imagine, so in May, the best day was Monday, but on April, the worst day was on Monday. So that's why I mentioned, guys, that this data month by month is not very useful. It's actually useful when you get all that data and you gather everything and you put it in a yearly analysis. I'll show you guys later that. So yeah, basically this was my performance for this month of April. So it's a very nice performance, 5.4. Maybe I don't notice the great advantages of having a 5.4% return in a month because I don't have a huge capital, but imagine making 5.4% monthly with $1 million in capital. That's basically 50K per month. So that's insane. That's honestly not what I aim for. I usually aim between 2 to 3% per month, and that's what I will aim for in the future when I have more capital. But yeah, like that's basically probabilistic distribution, which basically means that some trades or some months I'm gonna win more and some months I'm gonna win less, and they all distribute to make a whole average, which in my ideal is gonna be 2 or 3% per month. This was my winning and losing streak, so we can see that it's basically half-half, and this was my monthly percentage return, which was basically the biggest trade I made was a 3% profit, which was basically a 1-to-3 that we have it here, which was on May 13th, which was great. So that's basically my data for April and for May, and I wanted to share with you guys my yearly performance so far. I included the month of June because I'm basically recording this on June 12th. So I'm going to show you guys real quick. So here's basically the month of June that I included because it's basically June 12th. So I've taken 4 trades this month and I'm currently in a 3% profit, right? I'll explain this in the next monthly recap analysis. But what I wanted to show you guys is that this is basically my yearly performance so far, taking into account what I told you guys at the beginning, that I don't have any data from January, February, and March. So honestly, what I'm doing right now is kind of starting my yearly analysis since April because I want to be honest with myself and I don't want to consider data that it's not accurate based on the fact that some days I journaled my trades, some days I didn't, so I don't have very accurate data. That's why it's crucial to make analytics based on like data that it's actually true, because if not, I'm lying to myself and also to you guys. So for the year right now in an 8.25% profit. So we can see here in this graph, so on April, I had a minus 0.15%. So I ended the month in negative, as I explained you guys. On May, I did 5.4%, right? Which was actually, let's see it here, it was 5.4% profit. And then on June, I basically, well, currently am at 3% profit, which basically adds up in total of 8.25% for the year right now. I've taken 20 trades in total with a total win rate of 58%. Like I said, I'm not considering break even, so that's basically a clean win rate with 3 break even trades with an average RR of 1.45. That considering that on June, most of my trades, so if we can see, basically my winning trades were 1 to 2, and same thing as in May, most of my winning trades were between 1 to 2 to actually one that was 1 to 3. The fact that here it's 1.45, it's because the data of the average RR of April, which was very low, it's damaging this data. I expect that the next month this average RR is going to increase based on the fact that I will target my trades way better, and I will basically try to make my exit points way more accurate based on my strategy, which in my opinion, this is going to increase 100%. My average winning streak is 2. My average losing streak is 2.5. This basically means that so far, I usually have more losing trades consequently than having winning trades consequently, right? My best performing day so far, it's Thursday, that I've basically made on Thursday 3% in total, right? And the worst performing day is Friday, that currently right now I'm minus 0.55% of return in Fridays. So this is where it's very important to understand, and when we have a lot of data, understand that basically in 3 months, the worst performing day it's Friday. Understanding that every single day throughout these 3 months have been profitable. So on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, right? I've had a profitability. Of course, having the Thursday as the best day, as we can see it basically here, right? And having that basically on Friday, we've had minus 0.55% of return these 3 months. This doesn't mean that this will remain the same or even worse throughout the year. But at the end, what this basically means, and the idea of recollecting this data, is that if at the end of the year, Friday keeps being the worst day and maybe it's still negative, that means 2 things. First, I maybe could stop trading on Fridays, and that could very likely increase my profitability in the long term, right? Because this is actually demonstrating based on data that on Fridays my edge doesn't work as well as other days. Or second, that maybe on Friday, if this keeps being as it is right now and it's not the best performing day, I could start taking the most high quality setups and be as much picky as possible. Understanding that maybe my edge decreases, or the profitability or the win rate of my edge decreases on Friday, so I must be as picky as possible to be able to perform way better on this type of days. That's why I recollect data, and that's why I consider the performance by day statistics to be key when I do my trading performance analysis. So that's basically my results for these 2 last months. So April and May, and a little bit of June, because I'm recording this on June 12th, so that's why it's included. And now let's see very quickly my trading journal, so for you guys to see how I journal my trades. So this is basically it. I do it on Notion. So this is the monthly layout where basically every single data it's included. So as we can see, for example, in April, if we go here, which is basically April 2nd, we can see that I had a plus 2% profit with a 122 RR. Here's basically the URL where I can observe my trade that I recorded and I uploaded, in this case on YouTube. And this basically was the trade with all my pictures here, with the analysis and all my notes about the trade. And this is the trade. Let's see, for example, I don't know, let's see this one, which is in April 8th, which was a negative trade. So here we can see the URL that I uploaded to my TikTok account. I was a minus 1%, and here same thing. We have all the information with all the pictures and basically all my notes here with my lesson, my direction, and everything, right? Same thing for the month of May. So here we have, so for example, let's see this profitable trade. So we can see that it was a manual closure. It was a 1 to 2. We can see here that this was the trade. This was before I took the trade, and this was basically after the trade. And here it says that I decided to close manually, right? Let's see, for example, one of the recent ones here in June that you guys were able to see a little bit of June. So let's say, for example, I don't know, this trade, that was the most recent one. So it was a minus 1%, right? Here we have the URL that I uploaded an Instagram video explaining it. And we can see, for example, here, right? The result, we can see that we were stopped out for literally less than a peep. And I explained everything here, my notes, and yeah, this is how I journal my trades. And everything that I take here, then I collect everything and I move it to my Excel, where I have my performance by month and my performance by year, where it's basically the dashboard where I have all my analytics and all my graphs to be able to identify my improvements, my weaknesses, and how I'm performing throughout the year. So yeah, that was all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, I invite you guys to subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and let's do something. If you guys watch until this part of this video, I invite you guys to comment down below a rocket emoji, and I'll be watching who actually watched until the end of the video, and I'll appreciate that a lot. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like I said, and see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned, that a lot of valuable content will be coming up very, very soon. See you guys.